So I want to start today by just putting a number on the table.
Okay, a number.
14, just the number 14.
14, right.
Yeah.
And depending on the context, that number can mean, well, a lot of different things.
A whole lot. If it's degrees Celsius, you're probably, putting on a light sweater.
Sure.
If it's the number of donuts you just ate, you're probably in a bit of trouble.
Definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
But in the context we're talking about, learning a new skill, especially a language day 14 it's a minefield.
It really is.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
In behavioral psychology, we often talk about this period as the 2-week wall.
The 2-week wall.
And it is the place where the vast majority of good intentions, of well-intentioned plans, they just go to die.
It's the graveyard of New Year's resolutions, isn't it?
Precisely. I mean, think about the life cycle of any new hobby. Day 1 is pure adrenaline.
Oh, yeah. You've got the new notebook. You downloaded the app.
You've got the dopamine hit of starting something new.
Yeah.
You told all your friends you're going to master English. You feel like a totally different person just because you started.
Right.
But by day 14, the dopamine is gone. The novelty is completely evaporated. And that app is just another notification you want to swipe away.
And that's when the excuses start creeping in. I had a really long day at work, or I'll do double tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we all know tomorrow is that mythical land where 99% of human productivity is stored, but you can never actually get there.
Never to be seen again.
Exactly. So when we look at a guide that is specifically designed for day 14, which is what we're doing today with this Mastering the Present Continuous, we have to just stop and acknowledge the resilience of the listener.
That's a great point.
If you are here, for listening to this, it means you didn't quit. You smashed right through that wall. You aren't a tourist in this language anymore. You are applying for residency. I love that distinction, moving from tourist to resident. And it feels so appropriate because the topic today is, it's arguably the tool that lets you actually live in the language. We are diving into the present continuous tense, which some people call the present progressive.
Right, same thing.
And our source material, it features the very energetic guidance of two voices, Jays and Isha. And their mission for today is, I think, fascinating. They basically argue that up until now, the learner has just been memorizing lists.
Right. Vocabulary.
Phrases. But today is about unlocking the ability to describe the world as it happens, right now.
It's the difference between a photograph and a live video stream.
Live video, yeah.
Exactly. Up until this point in the curriculum, if you look at what's been covered in those first 2 weeks, survival phrases, vowel sounds, telling time, some basic verbs, it's all very useful, but it's frozen.
Right. I like apples. The sky is blue. My name is. It's all factual. It feels a bit like data entry.
But life isn't static. Life is motion. And the present continuous is the engine room of English because it's what captures that motion. It's a tense that says, I am speaking, you are listening, the world is turning. It takes the language and, it makes it three-dimensional.
The source material uses this really sticky analogy for this. I love it. They call it the video call tense.
Which is brilliant branding, honestly.
It really is, isn't it? It just immediately clicks. I mean, think about it. When you FaceTime someone or you're on WhatsApp video call with a friend, you don't spend the whole time reciting facts from your past.
No, you don't.
You describe your immediate environment. You say, hey, I'm sitting in the cafe, or look, it's raining outside, or ugh, I'm drinking this terrible coffee.
It completely shifts the psychological dynamic of the conversation. If I tell you I went to the store yesterday, that's just a report. You just receive the information.
Right, it's a fact.
But if I say, I am walking to the store right now, and oh my gosh, it is pouring rain, I am inviting you into my experience.
Yeah.
I'm painting a scene that we are both inhabiting at the same time, even if we're miles apart. It creates this kind of shared reality.
And that's the commitment that the source talks about. By day 14, you're not just learning words to, pass a test. You are learning grammar to connect with other human beings in real time.
Exactly.
So let's get our hands dirty and look at the actual architecture of this thing. How do we build it? The guide claims the formula is super easy, but I feel like every grammar guide says that right before they ruin your life with exceptions.
To be fair to Jace and Isha, the core formula is really elegant.
Yeah.
It's a simple 3-part structure. You need your subject, you need the verb to be, and then you need your main verb with that ing tail on it.
Okay, let's slow that down a bit. So subject plus to be plus the verbing.
Right. The subject is easy. That's your I, you, we, they, he, she. The ing part is also easy. Everyone remembers to add ing to the action. Walking, talking, eating.
Sure.
The trap, and this is where beginners constantly trip up, is that little bridge in the middle, the to be verb.
The am, is, or are.
The am, is, or are.
I hear this all the time. People will say, I'm going to the store, or she's sleeping.
Exactly. And psychologically, it actually makes sense why people make that mistake. The meaning is in the word going or sleeping. That's the action. The little word is or am feels like, I don't know, like filler.
So the brain just drops it.
The brain just drops it to be more efficient. But in English, without that little bridge, the whole sentence collapses. It sounds like Tarzan speak.
Me going store.
Me going store. So we absolutely need that bridge. I am speaking, you are listening, she is drinking chai.
Correct. But, and this is where we move from just correct grammar to actually fluent speaking, Isha, in the source material, really emphasizes that while you need the bridge, you shouldn't stand on it for too long.
What does she mean by that?
She talks about contractions.
Yeah.
And she says they are a must-use.
Okay. She's pretty firm on that, isn't she? She doesn't present it as a stylistic choice. It's more like a requirement for spoken English. And she is 100% right. If you speak without contractions, you sound incredibly robotic. Or worse, you can sound angry. If I say to you very deliberately, I am not going, it sounds like I'm furiously refusing the request you just made.
Right. It has this heavy emphasis.
But if I just say, nah, I'm not going, it's casual. It's normal.
It's the rhythm of it. I am writing has 3 distinct beats. It's very staccato. I'm writing just flows. It's like the difference between walking down a set of stairs and sliding down a slide.
That is a great visual. Contractions, your he's, they act as the lubricant for the sentence.
Lubricant, I like that.
They blend the subject and that little auxiliary verb together so you can get to the main point, the action, much faster. If you want to sound like a native speaker, you have to embrace the schwa, that squishing of sounds. He just becomes he.
So we've got the formula, subject plus be plus ing, but English being English, it can't just be that simple. There's always fine print. The source dedicates a whole section to the spelling mechanics, or what I like to call why English orthography is a complete nightmare.
It is the classic struggle. Look, for most verbs, yes, you just slap an ing on the end, walk becomes walking, jump becomes jumping. Simple. But then you have the drop E rule.
Right, verbs that end in a silent E, like make, or write, or dance.
You have to sort of decapitate the verb. You have to chop off that E before you add the ing. So make, M-A-K-E, becomes M-A-K-I-N-G. The E just disappears.
If you kept it, it would look incredibly strange on the page.
It would, yeah.
And then there's the one that always catches me off guard. The double consonant rule.
This one is all about phonetics. It's about keeping the vowel sound short. It applies mainly to one-syllable verbs that end in that consonant-vowel-consonant pattern.
Like run, sit, put.
Exactly. Take run, R-U-N. If you just added ing, it would look like ruining, which phonetically someone might read as ruining. To keep that short, punchy sound in run, we have to double the final consonant. So it becomes R-U-N-N-I-N-G, running.
Sitting, putting.
Exactly. It's a visual signal to the reader to keep that vowel short and sharp.
It's a small detail, but it is absolutely the kind of thing that separates a beginner writer from an intermediate one.
For sure.
Okay, so we've built the car, we know the formula, we've got the spelling tires on. Now we need to know where to drive it. The source outlines 4 specific dimensions of use. And I think this is where the deep dive really adds value, because most people just stop at dimension 1.
And dimension 1 is the obvious one. It's for actions happening right now.
Yes,
this exact second.
I am recording this deep dive. You are listening to it. The fan above my head is spinning.
This is the video call usage we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It implies that the action is completely simultaneous with the speech. But if you stop there, you miss so much of the versatility of this tense.
So what's dimension 2?
Dimension 2 is temporary situations.
This one is interesting because it's happening around now, but not necessarily right now.
Exactly. Let's look at the example from the guide. They use, I'm staying with my aunt this week.
Okay.
Now, when you say that sentence, you might be at a coffee shop. You might be at work. You are not physically at your aunt's house at that moment. But the situation of staying there is current, it's ongoing, and this is crucial. It is temporary.
That word temporary is the real key, isn't it? Because if I said, I live with my aunt, that sounds permanent. That sounds like my official address.
Right.
But I am staying with my aunt implies I'm living out of a suitcase for a little while.
Precisely. It signals to your listener that this is just a phase. Here's another example. She's learning English these days. She isn't holding a textbook at this exact second, but she is in the process. It's a chapter of her life that hasn't closed yet.
That makes sense. Then we have dimension 3, trends and changes. This is kind of like reporter mode.
Yeah, this is used so heavily in business and news reporting. Prices are going up. The climate is changing. More people are using electric scooters.
Oh, okay.
It describes a world in flux. If you use the simple present, prices go up. It sounds like a general law of physics. But prices are going up sounds like a current event. It captures the movement.
And finally, dimension 4. This is the one that really breaks people's brains a little bit. Arranged future plans.
I love this one because it completely defies the logic of the name. We are using the present continuous tense to talk about the future.
Right. The source gives the example, I'm meeting my friend at 7 p.m. or we're going to Lucknow tomorrow. If I'm doing it tomorrow, why am I using a present tense? Why don't I just say, I will go?
This is all about psychology and certainty. You can say, I will go. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But will often implies a decision made in the moment or maybe a prediction. I think I'll go to Lucknow. It's a little bit floaty.
Okay.
But when you use the present continuous for the future, you are implying that the machinery is already in motion.
So if I say, I'm going to Lucknow tomorrow, it means the tickets are already booked.
It means the tickets are booked, the bags are probably packed, and the mental commitment is at 100%. You are treating this future event as if it is so certain it's practically already a part of your current reality. It's a power move, grammatically speaking.
It's like you're saying, this isn't a plan. This is a fact that's just waiting to happen.
Exactly. So if you want to sound a little flaky, maybe use will. If you want to sound reliable and certain, use the present continuous.
Note to self, use the present continuous when promising to do the dishes later. Honey, I am doing the dishes later.
It might just help with the domestic arguments, yes.
Okay, now we have to navigate into what I'm calling the danger zone.
Yeah.
The source material puts up a giant warning sign here.
A very important one.
And it specifically addresses a common error that they call the Indian learner mistake. Though honestly, I've heard learners from all over the world make this. It's the confusion between stative and action verbs.
This is such a crucial concept. In English, we basically divide our verbs into two big camps. You have action verbs, run, jump, eat, cook, things you can see happening. You could take a video of them.
Okay.
And then you have stative verbs. These describe a state of being, a feeling, or a mental process. Words like, love, know, understand, believe.
And the big unbreakable rule is you cannot use stative verbs in the continuous form. You can't put them in that inbox.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be in the middle of knowing something. You either know it or you don't. It's like a binary switch. It's not a progress bar.
So the mistake the source highlights is saying something like, I am knowing the answer.
Right, which would imply that you're maybe 50% of the way to knowing it, which is impossible. You just say, I know the answer.
Or another classic one, I am liking this podcast.
As much as we appreciate the sentiment, grammatically, you just like the podcast. It's a state of your heart, not an action you're performing in this moment.
Now, the one that causes the most trouble, and the source points this out, is the verb have. Because have is a shapeshifter.
Have is so tricky because it has two completely different meanings. Meaning, number one is possession.
Yeah.
I own this. That is a state. You can't be in the middle of laying a car.
Right.
So you always say, I have a car, never, I am having a car.
But then you hear people all the time say, I'm having lunch.
Because in that context, meaning number two of have kicks in. Here, have doesn't mean own. It means eat or experience.
Okay.
I am having lunch is an action. I am physically putting food in my mouth. I am having good time is an experience that is happening now.
So she has a car is simple present because it's possession. But she is having a party is present continuous because it's an event she is experiencing.
Bingo. Context is king. You always have to ask yourself, is this an action I can see or is this just a state of existence? If it's a state, you have to drop the ing.
To help us really visualize this, the source material does something I love. It takes us on a field trip. We are going to Fatpur, and I have to say, the immersion in this section is just fantastic. Jays and Usha don't just give us these dry sentences like, the cat is on the mat. They give us a real slice of life.
And this is one of the most effective ways to learn grammar. Our brains are wired for narrative and for context. If I give you an abstract rule, you'll probably forget it in 10 minutes.
Sure.
But if I give you a vivid scene, you'll remember it.
So let's look at the scenes they paint for us. We have a domestic scene at home. Mom is cooking dal. My brother is playing Free Fire. The fan is running full speed.
And those details matter so much. Free Fire, dal, the fan running full speed. It immediately grounds the language in a recognizable real-world Indian context. It stops being abstract English and starts being actual communication.
Then they move us to the market. I'm standing near the vegetable stall. The shopkeeper is showing a new kurta. People are bargaining loudly.
People are bargaining loudly. Can't you just hear that? The sensory details, the noise, the visuals, they help lock the grammar into your memory. When you visualize that chaotic market, you associate it with the present continuous tense.
There's a mini dialogue in the source that I want to look at because it shows how all these little pieces fit together in a real conversation.
Okay.
It starts with a friend asking you, "What are you doing right now?" And you reply, "I'm sitting in my room and listening to the Idioms Insight podcast."
A little plug for a podcast there. Very meta of them.
Very meta. Then the friend asks, "Nice, what's happening at home?" And the reply is, "My mother is making aloo paratha and my younger sister is studying for her exam."
Aloo paratha.
Right. The friend says, "Sounds busy." And you say, "Yes, and the fan is making a lot of noise today."
It's such a simple exchange, but look at what it accomplishes. It establishes location. I'm sitting in my room. It has a personal action. I'm listening. It describes family activity, making aloo paratha, studying, and it includes an environmental detail. The fan is making noise.
It's a complete 360-degree report of that specific moment.
Exactly. And notice, not a single "I will" or "I did." It is all pure, unadulterated now.
This leads perfectly into the pause and practice challenge that Isha sets up in the guide. She calls it the right now challenge.
And this is where passive listening has to stop.
It really does. The source asks the learner, and so we're asking you right now to just stop, look up from your phone, look around the room you're in, and try to generate 6 to 8 sentences about what is happening right now.
It sounds so easy, but really try it. Don't just say, "The light is on." Look closer. What is the world actually doing around you?
The source gives some great sensory prompts to get you started. My phone is charging on the table. That's a good one. It's a silent action, but it's happening.
The fan is rotating slowly, or maybe the traffic is humming outside, the refrigerator is buzzing in the corner.
A bird is singing, or my neighbor is drilling a hole in the wall, which seems to be a universal constant of human existence.
It really is. But the point of the exercise is to realize that the world is never truly static. Even in a perfectly quiet room, things are happening. The dust is settling, the sun is setting, the clock on the wall is ticking.
And of course, the meta example. You are listening to this deep dive.
It's a mindfulness exercise as much as it is a grammar one.
Yeah.
It genuinely forces you to be present in the moment.
So before we move on to the final assignments, I want to do a really quick fire mistake check just to make sure our listeners don't fall into those traps we talked about.
Okay.
I'll give you the scenario. You give me the correct sentence.
Hit me.
Okay, scenario 1. I want to state the scientific fact that water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. Do I say water is boiling at 100 degrees?
No. That is a general truth, scientific fact. For those, you always use the simple present. Water boils at 100 degrees.
Why?
But if you are standing in your kitchen and the pasta water is bubbling over the pot, you scream, "The water is boiling."
Perfect. Scenario 2. I want to express my deep and abiding love for pizza. I am loving pizza.
Only if you were in a McDonald's commercial. In real grammar, love is a stative verb. You just say, "I love pizza."
Okay, final scenario. I own a laptop. I want to tell someone this. I am having a laptop.
Nope. Have for possession is stated. It's a state of being. I have a laptop. But you can say, "I am having problems with my laptop," because experiencing problems is an action.
Excellent. Okay, I think we are ready for the golden cheat sheet and the homework. This is where the rubber meets the road.
The cheat sheet is your North Star. It's super simple. Formula. Amosora plus verbing.
Right.
And the main use cases. Actions right now, temporary situations, trends, and arranged future plans. If you can keep those in your pocket, you're good to go.
But as Jason and Aisha point out, knowing isn't the same as doing. So they've assigned 4 specific tasks for day 14. Task 1 is write 10 sentences about what is happening in your house right now.
Writing is so crucial for nailing those tricky spelling rules we talked about, the drop E and the double consonants. It's really hard to spot those errors when you're just speaking.
True. Now, task 2 is the one everyone dreads, but it's probably the most important one, the audio challenge.
Ah, yes.
Record yourself for 90 to 120 seconds just describing your family's activity.
I know. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice on a recording.
Yeah.
We all think we sound weird. But this is the absolute fastest way to improve.
Why is that?
Because when you listen back, you will hear things your brain didn't notice while you were speaking. You'll hear where you dropped the is. You'll hear where you sounded robotic because you forgot to use a contraction.
It's the harsh truth of the playback.
It is.
Task 3 is the social challenge. Use at least 3 present continuous sentences on a WhatsApp call today.
This is all about transfer. Can you take what you practiced alone in your room and move it into a real high-pressure environment? Can you slip it into a conversation naturally? Hey, sorry, can't talk long. I'm just eating dinner. Boom, you did it.
And finally, task 4 is about community. Share 3 things happening around you in the comments section of the guide.
This is all about accountability. When you see 20 other people posting, my dog is sleeping, or it is raining where I am, it reminds you that you aren't doing this alone. You're part of a cohort, a group that just smashed that 2-week wall together.
Speaking of moving forward, the source gives us a little teaser for day 15, and honestly, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It does. Shopping for clothes.
Yes. We're going from describing the house to navigating the mall, talking about sizes, trying things on.
And the complaints, oh, it's too tight, no, it's too loose. And of course, the most essential Indian skill of all, bargaining.
You cannot survive without that skill. But before we wrap up day 14, I want to reflect on the closing thought from our experts, Jays and Isha. They end on a surprisingly philosophical note.
They do.
They talk about living in the present moment.
It's a really beautiful observation. They say, every time you say, I'm doing, you make your English feel alive and real.
It really changes your perspective on grammar, doesn't it? When you focus on the past tense, you're dwelling on history. When you focus on the future tense, you're often worrying about what's to come. But the present continuous, it forces you to look at this moment, right here, right now.
It connects you to the world around you. You have to observe the birds, the traffic, the person sitting across from you. You have to be awake to the reality of now to use this grammar correctly. So in a strange way, learning this tense is actually a practice in mindfulness.
Who knew grammar could be so zen?
It's all connected.
So to you, our listener, take a moment today to just narrate your life as it's happening. Look around you. What is going on? The world is moving. Narrate it. We are so, so proud of you for hitting day 14. Keep that momentum going.
Absolutely. The hard